Hi, I'm Dennis Gage. Thanks for tuning into My Classic Car, home of the certified car nut. Well, this week we're in Evansville, Indiana, which is pretty easy for me because that's where I live. But you know, sometimes you'll find the most amazing things in your own backyard, and that's definitely the case for these two muscle Mercs. A few years ago, I was at a little local car show, and Tom Lance had his '64 Merc Marauder there, and I absolutely fell in love with that car. But then I sort of lost touch with Tom. Earlier this year, though, he sent me a picture of his latest project, the '64 Comet Cyclone Cammer. And at that point, I said, I feel a feature coming on. Plus, this way, I might actually get to drive these babies. I'm crazy about Mercuries. Check them out. Well, Tom, I finally got you.
Nice to be here. Nice to be
Tom,
here.
I've been hunting your Mercs for a long time. I think I first ran into you, what, 5-6 years ago at a local car show, right?
Right.
And you had that '64 Marauder, and that thing stopped me in my tracks. I just fell in love with it. I love those cars. But then it was like earlier this year, you sent me a picture, said, hey, I'm playing with something new here. Oh, really? What? '64 Comet Cyclone. Sent me this, and I'm like, holy mackerel. So we had to talk, man.
Right.
We definitely had to talk. Now, this baby, this is one you created, though. This, I mean, it looks like a factory lightweight.
Right.
But you basically made one.
Right. I built it up from a car headed to the scrapyard.
Really? I mean, like just like almost nothing left of it.
Right. I gave $200 for it.
And then you kind of went just full tilt. I mean, this is now all lightweight. I mean, it's fiberglass hood, fenders, the whole thing. And man, did you do a killer job. Even graphics-wise, I mean, these are all local companies here in Evansville. I mean, this is it's kind of hometown all the way around.
Right. Had to find a guy that practiced for about a month to actually hand letter them.
No kidding. But I love the cammed heat with your sterno on there. Was that also kind of a period thing?
Well, I always wanted one of these types of engines, and I came up with that name a long time ago, and from the band, and
yeah, of course, canned heat.
Play on words,
right.
So that's the way it ended up.
Now, originally, this thing would have been lightweighted almost head to toe. What of the original car is still left?
The roof, the floor pans, the trunk, and the rear quarters.
And that's really it.
That's it. Doors are fiberglass.
So what's the door weigh on this baby?
Weighs about 9 pounds.
You're kidding, really? Can I open it?
Go ahead.
Oh man, that's like nothing.
Yep. They were, and the original would have been slightly lighter because they wouldn't have even bothered putting a inner panel in it.
But I mean, that 9 pounds for the whole thing.
Right.
I mean, that's amazing. Now, inside 3-point cage.
3-point. Yeah, they haven't made one of them in about 40 years, so I fabricated that out of 2.5-inch stainless tubing.
And it's all business. There's only a couple gauges that you really gotta have. And these would have been like what they did back then. These were basically Econoline van seats, weren't they?
Bostrom Econoline seats. Wow. Very light, much lighter than the original buckets or bench seat that would have been in it.
And a headliner, which they would have pulled out probably.
That more than likely would have went away, yeah.
But that's not easy to find.
No, not the hardboard with the spacer trims and all that.
Man. Well, now, this is funny because I look at this car and I go, it was a Comet, but it's a Comet Cyclone.
Right.
Which was what's the deal on it?
That was an upgrade package for the Comet.
So it's actually an option package before it became a model, because eventually it became a model, right? And there's a lot of hard lines in this rear quarter. You don't want to dent that, I don't imagine.
No, that's why that was only a 1-year offering.
That's another quarter.
Yeah.
So fiberglass bumpers too?
Bumpers and bumper brackets are fiberglass.
Bumper brackets too, man. Just every place you could pull weight out of this car, you did.
That's right. That was their trick.
Well, we've alluded to it before, but the SOHC stitched into your seat, single overhead cam. This is actually a camera motor.
That's correct.
Oh, let's go look at that, baby.
Okay.
I love those engines. Open her up, Tom.
All right. Get my finger under here.
Oh, yes. Those are monsters.
They were big engines. Of course, the heads were huge. But I've always felt myself, aesthetically, there wasn't a prettier engine.
It is gorgeous. So where'd you find this engine?
I found it Jim Dove in Cleveland, Ohio. I had the engine, and I had him build it all up, and because I wasn't going to learn how to build a camera on OJT.
No. Probably, with what these are worth now, probably a good idea. Cast iron block and...
Nope, this is an aluminum 68 Can-Am Ford block.
Holy mackerel. What?
A la GT40.
Holy cow. Whoa. No, I'm really impressed. So what kind of horsepower?
It dynoed at 837 at 7,000 RPM.
God, it's absolutely gorgeous. Closer back up, though. I love the, I mean, that's such an aggressive looking hood on these two. That bulge, you knew it meant business.
Right, that was a Ford teardrop.
But now even with, I mean, you kept this so, with glass front and back to be legal, so that you could actually drive this on the street. You've got this license. This is a street legal, streetable car.
Yep, lights and all the electrics work. And I keep it plated up, and I drive it around town.
Wow. Suppose I could drive it around?
You are absolutely welcome to drive it around.
I'm absolutely thrilled. Let's pin this thing and fire this baby up. What do you say?
Okay.
I'll get the other side. Welcome back to My Classic Car.
You look good in this car.
I feel good in this car.
It likes it when you're driving it like you're mad at it.
Yeah, well, you know, I find, especially with something like this, I find myself short shifting it.
Right.
Because it's just too much there.
Right. They were just, you know, I mean, they were built to just be maxed out. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
And you and I drive something like this on the street. Try not to be just crazy.
Man. And I'm like at about a quarter throttle.
Yeah.
But man, she don't corner very well.
A little over. Pushes a little bit.
Pushes a little bit, yeah.
You're doing pretty good in this thing on these windy roads.
Not bad. You know, you kind of start turning early and you turn a little harder. Woo! Holy mackerel.
And that motor will climb to about 7,400.
When you pull this thing out at a show.
Oh, they love it.
Oh, man.
I was, you know, I built it for myself. It was just something I wanted to do. I was hoping people would appreciate it. And I've had older guys come up and just say to me, you know, thanks for the memories. It's been so long since I've seen one of them, you know. And that's really, that's the biggest part of it, I think.
Welcome back to My Classic Car. Well, Tom, that is one serious Cyclone. That thing
appreciate it.
That thing is, no, I appreciate it, believe me.
I had fun with it.
That baby is stout. But this is where it all began for me, in our encounters. This Marauder is just beautiful. Here's another car you do not see anymore.
No.
I mean, they didn't make many of these to begin with. How many, roughly, you know?
A couple thousand of all the Marauder packages, you know, but the Parklane,
which was the top of the line.
Right. I've hardly ever seen. I don't think I've seen but one.
But it's such an interesting body. I mean, it's a Merc. It's not a Ford, but it's got a top that is not very Merc. You know, Mercs of this era had that kind of squared off, canted back, what they call, I guess, the breezeway top, right? With the window. This looks like a Galaxy.
This is the Galaxy XL roofline.
Wow.
The doors are off a Galaxy.
Well, it doesn't look like a Galaxy door.
No. This top piece here is a bolt-on piece foundation for that trim bar.
Onto the Galaxy door?
Onto the Galaxy door.
Wow. I'm astounded. I didn't know you could do that. Where did you find this baby?
I found this in Missoula, Montana.
So
just
probably
outside.
rust-free, pretty rust-free?
Yeah, it was a real nice, straight, solid car.
Well, you know, the interior, I mean, I think when I first saw it, that's what I really liked. It was the black car with the white interior. And you're right, it does combine a lot of stuff. These almost look like T-bird seats.
That's what they use for the XLs and these cars, the sport interior.
Is that an ostrich print or what is?
Yeah, ostrich pattern, and that was for the sport.
Correct?
That's correct, for the sport interior. There can't be any more of that white left. I think I bought the last of it.
On the face of the earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know this, I mean, Parklane was the top of the line, so you got this, I mean, it's a beautiful interior with the wood side panels and
factory air.
Factory air. And the factory 4-speed?
Factory 4-speed.
I mean, that's a weird combo.
Yeah. Plus power windows and power seats.
Oh, man. But you've really kept it bone stock.
Yeah, other than those wheels.
Yeah, man, she's long, too. Were these are original trim pieces?
Yeah, they were a finished trim for where the quarter panel and the rear body panel were welded.
Well, that's got to be 10 feet long in this rear quarter.
It's a long car.
They couldn't have stamped that in a single piece.
There's five pieces to make that quarter panel.
Holy cow. But, you know, beautiful. I mean, the rear end of a Merc is just so distinctive. I love the taillights. And, I mean, even these are kind of different.
Yeah,
is
that's part
of
of
an add-on? Or?
Part of the 25th
really?
anniversary package.
And that's it's a pretty bright back end, too. I mean, you know, big bumper that's kind of right out there and up there.
Right.
Shiny, and that piece would probably dent pretty easy. You know,
yeah, it's very light aluminum. Yeah. I did have that in the grill hot dipped.
Wow, I mean, she's gorgeous. Now, most of these 4-speed cars would have had a 427 actually. So.
Right, nope, this is a 390 Super Marauder with the big large ports in it.
Let's go look at that baby.
Okay.
Open this baby up, Tom.
All right.
390 Super Marauder. Is that tri-power?
Yeah, it was dealer installed tri-power.
Well, you know, this thing looks original. I mean, has it ever been out of here?
No. I've not repainted anything under the hood. I pulled the heads off and the intake just to inventory the condition of the engine. Cleaned everything up and put it right back together inside the frame. So
pulled it. I mean, you did all that without ever taking her out.
Right.
Man, I mean, I absolutely love these cars. They ride like a dream. I mean, they're Mercs.
Yep.
They
Very
basically ride
smooth.
like a Lincoln. And this is one that you got plated. You drive this one.
Yep, we drive it.
I mean, it's not a grocery getter, but you take it out.
No, get it out and drive it, and take it on cool evenings and just cruise.
Have a good old time. Well, you know, you let me drive that thing. If I can drive that, I bet I can drive this.
Oh, there's no problem.
Well, let's close it up and let's take this baby out for a
All right then.
Let's go, man. Welcome back to My Classic Car. It's just real different having a 4-speed in a car like this.
Yeah. Isn't this a smooth old car, though?
Oh, man. Well, it's a Merc. Oh, man, is this smooth. I love Mercuries. And the sound does not fit the look of this car. You know, you're just like, wait a minute, that sounds way too bad for a Merc Parklane.
It's a smooth car, though, isn't it?
Oh, she's beautiful. But it's still got that throaty, you know, powerful sound to it. What do you have on it for exhaust?
I made 2.5-inch stainless exhaust all the way to the rear, and then some Flowmasters there in the very back. This car comes on now.
I bet it does. You don't even see a 64 Parklane around, let alone a Marauder.
Right.
These just aren't around. And I don't quite understand that. This isn't a car that you necessarily used up. This isn't like, you don't see Torinos around much anymore because people just, beat the crap out of them.
Right.
But this was this is a pretty high-end car. You certainly don't need to double clutch a car like this, but it's just so much fun.
Oh, yeah. I always give it the old double wrap like Steve McQueen in Bullet. Between years,
Oh, man, I love Mercs, and Tom builds some mean ones. And the great thing about this shoot is I'll be home for supper. It's right here in Evansville, Indiana. Tom's working on a 61 Starliner that I think is going to be killer. Can I come back and look at that one, Tom?
Absolutely,
He's just down the road. Let's cruise.